Hello everyone. I'm Silky Budhi, a member of Data Code community and host for today's session. So, introducing our today's distinguished speaker Samyajan Ma'am, an upcoming program associate at Wells Fargo and EDG intern at MathWorks, whose remarkable achievements include being a global top 100 participants in Google Solution Challenge 2023 and SIH 2022 finalist a Google Talent Script Sprint V Scholar 2021. She is set to lead today's session on how to as hackathons. In her insightful talk, she will explore the realms of creativity and innovative problem solving, share tips on mastering time optimization, and delve into the strategies for winning hackathon experience. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well and are excited for the session. First of all, thank you, Silky, for that lovely introduction. And I'm truly grateful for the team of Witty Hacks for having me for this session. So let's begin with the session. But before we do that, I just want to mention that I want this session to be very interactive. So just feel free to ask questions, share your thoughts, and participate in the session via the chat section. Right. You can share the slides. Great. Yeah, so I'll quickly move to the next slide. Yeah, so I would like to ask you all a question that what is your experience level in with the hackathons? I just want to understand what kind of audience do we have today. I'll give you guys 10-15 seconds to choose one of these options and put 1, 2, 3 in the chat box. One, if you are a beginner and it's your first time participating in the hackathon. Two, if you have some experience, and three, if you are a pro. Okay, I see a lot of ones. Great, great. First one, right. Okay, so I'll try to cover some things in the session that will be beneficial for all of you, even if you are a beginner or a pro or you have some experience. So, all right, let me start by sharing one of my recent and very interesting experience with you. Recently, I had an opportunity to mentor at a hackathon. And around 9 p.m., I was there on my Discord voice chat, and one of the participants joined the channel and asked me some questions that made me realize how these kind of sessions are necessary even for the pros and for the beginners. So coming back to the questions that the participant asked me, one of the question was that can we take help from our seniors during the period of hackathon? And her follow-up question was even more interesting, and that was, are we required to switch on our cameras or our microphones during that period so that someone can invigilate us? So, just giving you a backstory that this hackathon was online, and that's why she asked this camera question, right? So, first of all, it's totally all right to ask doubts. Nobody is going to judge you, and your mentors are in your hackathon to help you. So, just feel free to ask any query, even the easiest ones. So, regarding the doubts that she asked me, I think you would have guessed by now that she was just missing one very important question. That is, what is a hackathon? Right. So, if I tell her the answer to this one, her doubts would have resolved, right? Do you guys agree? Just type yes or no in the chat box so that I can know if you guys are agreeing. Great, great. I see some yes. Okay, cool. So, all right. Yeah. In the meantime, what do you think? What is a hackathon according to you? I'll wait for a while to, you just share your doubts. You just share your thoughts in the chat section. What is a hackathon according to you? Or maybe I can just narrow it down for you guys in the next slide, and then you can tell me what do you think. Yeah, I hope my next slide is visible to you guys. So now what do you think? I've already mentioned in the chat box. Okay, yeah, Bhakti says an event dedicated to build solutions to real world problems. That's absolutely right. Web development, coding, to explore more technologies. Great, great. Right. Okay, so on this slide, what do you think? I've already mentioned on the slide, like it's kind of a expectation versus reality. That you might think that it's only about coding. I saw some chats. I saw some people writing coding, web development. So yeah, it's you might think that it's about only coding for some particular number of hours, but trust me, it's not. I have been to a lot of hackathons, and there are a lot of skills that you have to bring in together in a hackathon. So, as Bhakti rightly said, they are dedicated to build solutions. So, hackathons are dynamic events where we come together to collaborate, innovate, build, and solve real world problems in a limited time frame, let's say 24 to 48 hours, right? We form teams and work intensively on the projects. We often have to leverage the technologies to create prototypes, apps, or solutions. So I hope you're getting that it's not about coding, it's about creativity, problem solving, and teamwork. Hackathons are the best way to embrace yourself as a problem solver, as a innovator. You can push your limits there, and most importantly, you have to have fun along the way. So that's why I have already said it a number of times that now hackathons are not just about writing lines of codes. I still remember my first time participating in a hackathon. When I now think about it, I was a total newbie at that time. I did not know about web development. I just knew Python from my school. So one fine day, one of my friend called me and said, "Hey, do you want to participate in this hackathon? I have this idea, and I think that you'll also like it. So we'll create this website, and we'll try to add these features in that website." So I was very confused, like I don't know anything, and how will I learn all these technologies in just 2 days? So, like, how is this even possible? Was one of my first questions. So, but I just thought, let's just go for it. And obviously, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या ही होगा? There are no marks for this. And so me and my friend, absolute beginners, registered for this hackathon and started building the project with the help of some YouTube videos. uh, Let me tell you, we were very scared, for our first mentorship round. But we had a local website up and running with, 2 to 3 features, like some community forum and some static pages and a beautiful kind of front end so that it looks good to the eyes. To be honest, we did not have a lot of hopes, because we were the only ones in that hackathon from the first year. But uh, but when we presented this project to our mentor, she was pleasantly surprised that in our first year we had pulled this much off. She was very, she praised us for our efforts. So it was a confidence boost for us. She never demotivated us कि ये तो इतना simple project है, how are you going to compete with the other teams. So but now that I think about that project, the first project that I built in my first hackathon, it had a lot of impact to it. The idea was very unique and it was not very common, so that could be a plus point. That's why our mentor liked it, and to our surprise we moved on to the next round, and eventually we made it to the top 15 as well. So my first hackathon actually gave me a lot of confidence to participate in more hackathons and pursue web development. Yeah, with that being said, I would move to the next slide. Yeah. So now, how do you find a team, a perfect squad for a hackathon? So there might be some of you who already have a team ready and have already registered for Witty Hacks, and I know that someone is here among us who might be thinking कि register करूँ या नहीं करूँ. I don't have a team. So first of all, just go and register. This is for you. जो सोच रहा है कि register करूँ या नहीं, just go and register. All the hackathons provide you a platform to network with each other and to find the teammates. So please don't be shy to take part in the team building activities or the icebreaker sessions that these hackathons the hackathon organizers provide you. Form new connections and collaborate. I'll give you a little advice here. Just go and introduce yourself in your college groups as well, on the hackathon channels, in your college groups, any of the groups that you might have on your WhatsApp, your Discord, etc. You can go like, for example, you can go like, hi, I am participating in Witty Hacks and I am on a lookout for some team members who are, let's say, proficient in web development or machine learning. Mention your tech stack as well, so that people with similar tech stacks can approach you. So yeah, just to summarize, don't be afraid to introduce yourself and pitch in the idea that when you form a team. And now, one question that you might think is that how I'm going to find the right set of people. So, right here on this slide, I have mentioned some points that you should keep in mind while forming a team. Firstly, skill diversity. Personally, when I participate in a hackathon, my team consists of a front end developer, then then a person to handle the back end, and then a person for machine learning. So you see, we have slightly different jobs, but we have the same shared goal. That is the second point. We all work together on solving one problem. We all have a common vision, the shared same goal, and which will lead you to the third one, that is teamwork, right? So collaboration and teamwork in a hackathon is really really necessary. How you guys are working under pressure in a hackathon, and how you guys are taking care of each other in a hackathon, how are you supporting each other, all of this matters a lot when you are participating in an offline hackathon. My experience, I'll share my experience with Smart India Hackathon, which was really amazing. So, and one major, the shout out goes for this goes to my team. The experience, how we experienced Smart India Hackathon, I would say that it was amazing. So we were in our second year, and our center was in Coimbatore, like really far from Delhi. It was literally our first offline hackathon, and first time away from our homes for 3 to 4 days. But all of us took really good care of each other and literally had so many lovely memories that we took back to our homes. So at the end, despite all the challenges that we faced, our teamwork was really exceptional. We took care of each other, supported one another, and created unforgettable memories that we'll cherish forever. So, are you guys like ready to find your perfect squad in this hackathon? Just type in your thoughts about how you're going to find your hackathon squad in the chat section. I'll just wait for some time so that you can reply in the chat box. Great, great. Okay, Rahul says I will. Nice. There are some questions in the chat box as well. I'll take them at the end of my presentation. That way, it will be a little easier to take up all the questions at the end of the presentation. So, yeah, I'll move to the next slide then. Yeah, okay. So, coming back now that you have your dream team ready, so this is a very famous question that is asked by through the mentors or to the speakers all the time. I'm sure you also would have the same question, that how do we select our project idea? Sometimes we do have some ideas in our mind that could be a real world problem that you might have faced, or you might be facing that currently, and you want to tackle that particular problem by the use of technology. And sometimes there are times when hackathons already provide you with some themes or some problem statements from which you can choose one idea that resonates with you the most, and you feel that you have some perfect solution for that to solve that particular problem that the hackathon is already providing. But there are so many times that you have to explore this big ocean of internet to find a perfect inspiration. So just tell me in the chat box that you must have this question, that how do we select our project idea? Yeah, I can really relate with Rahul at this point of time, that I struggle a lot in the problem selection, right? Right. Okay. So I was also at your place when I used to, run out of ideas. I don't have any ideas now. So to go ahead with the hackathon to build something. So one particular hack that worked for me is exploring some websites like the Smart India Hackathon one. There you'll find numerous n number of real world challenges waiting to be solved. Okay, I am with this, I'm not saying that you just copy whatever the problem statement is there. You should not copy the problem statement there, but brainstorm it creatively. So you should brainstorm it creatively to make your solution very unique, and try to identify that problem at its base level. You'll get a basic inspiration from the Smart India Hackathon website. You have the problem statement ready, you have the basic inspiration there, and then don't limit yourself to the provided solution. You are provided a simple solution on some websites like Smart India Hackathon website, but don't limit it there. Okay, think something out of the box. Just make some assumptions, explore the unconventional approaches. With this, the goal is to basically develop a unique and very impactful solution that addresses the issue that you're solving, right? Great, great. Okay, yeah. Next slide. Yeah, this is the, I would say, the last step, or, the very important step when you are implementing your project. So let's just talk about how you want to bring your project to life. So, how many of you guys think that implementation and presentation go hand in hand? Or do you think that first you just implement it, or then you have to focus on on the presentation? What do you think about this? Okay, let me just rephrase my question, that what do you think is more important, implementation or presentation? Okay, someone says implementation, then presentation. Okay, so as I said, that it's a pro tip that both of them go hand in hand. You cannot neglect each one of them. So you know that implementation is important. You have to have some prototype ready for the mentors or the judges to judge something, and then comes the presentation. Both of them are really important. They are really significant. So hackathon, yeah, right, both great. So it's the hackathons are not just about building your project. We have talked a lot about the team building activities, and then we talked about how you select your ideas. But and the summary comes here is you have to implement it, right? But it's not just about building your project. It's also about how you're showcasing its value effectively. So I feel agile methodology is your best friend here. It helps you adapt, and you have to prioritize the features based on their impact and feasibility. You have to see, like, you are starting a hackathon and you have decided on a problem statement. Now you should decide that, like, which all features are really important in your project, and how are you going to implement them. So I'll just say that start your implementation as soon as you decide your tech stack. So tech stack is one major important thing that you should keep in mind. The right tech stack, all of the team members should be comfortable with it. And one should not feel that I am not comfortable with this tech stack. But you can always learn in a hackathon. I also learned WebD in just a span of 2 days. Like, I did not learn it completely, but yeah, it was. I learned it something. I learned something that that I was able to build something out of it. So just start your implementation as soon as your team decides the tech stack, right? And after that, just try to divide the task in such a way that you're able to do much work within a shorter period of time. Because hackathons are events that have a limited period of time. It will be 24, 36, or 48 hours. It will be just that. And there will be a number of activities planned that you would want to participate in. So just try to delegate the task in such a way that you are also participating in those activities, and you're able to complete your project. At least some features are there in your project, so that you can present it to your judges or to your mentors. So we have talked a lot about the implementation. So after implementation, it comes the presentation part. So it's all about highlighting the key features that should make your project stand out. It's a presentation is one kind of setting that helps you make your project stand out. So use compelling examples to demonstrate how these features will solve real world problems or enhance the user experiences. So I remember attending a similar session, a very similar session in my first year, where the speaker was telling how they went out for a trial. So they went out for a trial of their application with some real people, and found out that there are some old people who are not able to access some button in the application very easily. So they're not able to click it easily. So what they did is, what the team did was, they increased the size of the button. They increased the size of the button. They, chose the colors and the fonts, so that the old people are also able to click the button easily. They're also able to see that here's a button and I have to click it, right? So adding these little things in your presentation and mentioning it in your presentation, in front of the judges or in front of the mentors, shows that how well researched and how actually how much you are passionate about your project, uh, about solving problems. It shows how you have researched your project. So they actually went out, and there are, like, in a hackathon we don't usually test and try our application, but they did that with some real people. So that was a plus point for them. They were able to mention it in their presentation, and that was a winning point for them, right? So I'll say that, think about a story you want to tell with your project, and craft your presentation accordingly. Yeah, so we have talked about now the first and the second point. Now the third point is credibility. Let's just talk about credibility. Whenever I mentor in a hackathon, whichever team comes to me, I tell them to add some kind of statistics, some kind of data to their presentation, to their slides, or even to their, the about section of the website or the application, so that you can connect with the audience, you can connect with the judges, and you can tell them that how many people are impacted with your project. You can't just say that uh, it's not a good thing to say that this many people are impacted and it's not researched. You have to go on internet and search for some statistics, some data driven insights that will help you enhance your credibility of the project. So whether it's user statistics, market research, or performance metrics, and you have to back your claims, you have to support them with some data. And believe me, it will add so much weightage to your presentation. This is a tried and tested method. I have actually tried it. The judges and the mentors, whatever, whoever you are presenting to, they're really impressed when you are adding some kind of data or some kind of credible source, like from NDTV news or some kind of news. You have taken out the data and you've added this. So that's a really good point to add to your presentation or to your slides. So you have to do a proper. So one point I would like to add here is that you have to do a proper market research for your project, that who all are your competitors and what problems are they facing right now. There will be a number of problems that some established companies might be facing, and how your solution is going to overcome them, how you are planning to overcome all of these issues, or maybe some issues that they're facing right now. That will definitely give you an edge over the other people who are participating, that you have researched about your competitors in the market, all of the competitors that are present in the market right now, and you know about them. So, right, just last point is that, uh, that is above all, the last point: be passionate and authentic. Let your enthusiasm shine through your presentation. So share your journey, share your challenges, even your challenges give a great impact to your presentation, that what were the challenges you were facing and how did you overcome them. So that will be a great addition to your presentation and to your the yeah, to the presentation. So yeah, um, with this, I want to mention that in the hackathons there are a number of rounds. Uh, there are a number of mentorship rounds basically. So I would suggest that you have to, use them to your fullest. Sometimes we don't know that if they are evaluated or not. It has happened to me a lot of times that I didn't know that some of the mentorship round was evaluated, or some kind of mentor was judging me when I was talking to them. So you have to be a little poised, and you have to be a little you have to maintain some kind of decency there, so that they if they're judging you, you get full points on that. So you have to use them to the fullest. You don't know if they're evaluated, and some of the mentors evaluate you on the basis of how you are interacting with them. What is the progress? If there was a mentorship round one in your hackathon, and you showed some of the progress there, and there is a round two, and the same mentor comes in, and what is the progress then? So they'll evaluate that as well. So yeah, so what is your progress, and each and everything they'll be evaluating. So this completely does not mean that you should not ask questions to your mentors. uh, just that most of the mentors like when the teams are asking them questions, when the teams are enthusiastic and are passionate about their project. So yeah, um, I think these were some of the major tips from my side. You should keep in mind while you are in a hackathon, and if you have to ace that hackathon, right? Great. I'll move to the next slide then. Great. So, with this, I hope you have a fair idea of hackathons and how do you ace them. I want you to decide your goal for witty hacks right now. Find these emojis and drop them in the chat box. If you want to learn something new, drop in this star emoji, then the rocket emoji for building something awesome in witty hacks. If you are on a lookout to build some connections, you can use these starry eyes, and then laptop for nailing that pitch with your awesome presentation, with the awesome presentation skills. And lastly, uh, for the problem solvers out there, you have this person with the laptop emoji. Great. I see some rockets, some laptops as well. Great, great. You can obviously have a combination of these goals as well. So I would love to see a combination of them. Okay, I only see Purvi, Dhanshri, and MJ. Okay, RJ. Great. Great. I would have loved to see some combination of these emojis. In my next hackathon, I would love to, combine all of them and then participate in the hackathon. So great. Cool. Yeah. So with this, I come to an end to my presentation. Thank you for listening so patiently. And yes, you can connect with me on my LinkedIn here. And Yeah, so now if you have any questions, I can take them up very quickly. You can drop them in the chat box. Okay, I see two questions in the chat box right now. That is, can I use API in hackathons? Yes, you can use APIs. Like, I would say that you should use APIs because they are your best friends when it comes to hackathons. Yeah, so when it comes to hackathons, I feel since hackathon have a limited period of time, you have to implement a lot of things. So you can't just go, with the full code of everything. You should use APIs so that it takes a little less time, and then you can always present it in a way that impresses the judges and the mentors. Great. Front end or back end? So I feel that it's up to you, that uh, in whichever thing you're comfortable with. And if you want to ask like which is better, because there are a number of people who ask me this question, that is front end better or back end? Honestly, both of them are really good. Like, both of them go hand in hand. You can't use front end without a back end, and you can't go with back end without a front end. You have the back end ready, but you don't have an appealing front end. What is the use of the back end then? And similarly vice versa, you have the front end ready and you don't have a back end. You don't have the maybe the login register feature, the database or something. So that's not going to help you. So it's up to you, whichever thing you are interested. So you can go ahead with any of them or both of them. There are full stack developers as well. So that's like it. Which language is best for WebD? So I personally use, for the front end, I use the basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, all of these. And for the back end, I like to use Flask, because it's like Python only. And I get to use the post APIs, get APIs. So it makes a little simpler when it comes to machine learning. So I use ML always in my hackathons or in my projects, because it gives a little weightage to my project when you add some kind of ML or AI to your projects. So when you do that, when you have to integrate ML with web development, what you can do is you can always use Flask. It's really easy to use, so that will help you a lot. But yes, you can explore a number of YouTube videos for React, Angular, and all of the other tech stacks as well. So Bhakti asks what things to keep in mind while forming teams for hackathons. I already, presented in my slides as well. Like, you should keep in mind these things while participating, while forming a team. The skill diversity, you should keep in mind that how your team is divided. I have a front end developer, the back end developer, and a machine learning person in my team. I like to have this way, so that I have everyone in my team. Apart from that, you should have this shared goal. uh, and then teamwork, you should take care of each other. You should support each other. And you should and basically you have to communicate. Communication is the key between your team. So even if you're finding new people, you have to communicate, you have to collaborate, you have to innovate with each other to solve the real world problems and solve the real world challenges in a hackathon. Okay. MJ asked how to start WebD. So I'll suggest you to register for this hackathon, Witty Hacks, and it's in April. So you have a lot of time. You know, you have a month to basically start with WebD. And if you ask how I started my web development journey, was with a hackathon only. I participated in my first hackathon where I learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Flask from YouTube videos, and then I went on to make to build this website. After that, I since I am the president at my at one of my college societies, I joined this society in my first year itself as a technical associate. So if you see the website there, we have built it, we have maintained it over the 4 years of time. So college societies and hackathons, these are the best ways you can, start something new, start something fresh with web development. Okay, one more question is there. If I don't know anything, then what can I do in a hackathon? So, like I said, you will always feel that like I don't know anything. Have I have left something or the other thing, but you have to start sometime soon. You have to start it. Just go for it. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं होगा. I mean, you just learn with these hackathons, learn the tech stacks, and learn to build, learn to solve the problems. So you can start anytime, and you will learn uh, along the way. You'll have fun along the way. You'll learn along the way. So yeah, you can start anytime. How to choose topic. So yes, I have covered this as well. If you don't have any idea for hackathon, you can explore some websites like Smart India Hackathon, or maybe you can explore some previous hackathons as well. So if you go to devfolio, websites like devfolio, unstop, you will find a number of hackathons, and the participation, the people who have actually participated in those hackathons, you can find their project ideas. And I am not saying that you should copy all of those things, because you'll find each and everything, but you should not copy all of these things. You should actually think out of the box. If you have a problem statement with you now, you have explored all of these sites, SIH and Devfolio, you have a problem statement ready with you. You just go ahead and think out of the box for a solution. Just don't copy their solution. So yeah, that's a point. Great. So one question is, I don't have idea which things I want to build. I don't get your question. So if you can elaborate it some, because I've already covered, like if you don't have a particular idea to start with, you can always, go ahead with, uh, I mean, the SIH websites. I've mentioned it a number of times now. Or maybe if you still have some doubts, you can always connect with me on LinkedIn. You can scan this QR code, and you can just you can just type in your question in my DMs. I will definitely try to revert back to you as soon as possible. Great. Yeah. So Thank you guys for listening. And yeah, so with this, I come to an end of my presentation, I think. Silky, would you like to take from here?